watchdog group of nuclear scientists has moved the doomsday clock to 2 minutes until midnight.
Get this shit off the screen. Who are these assholes to say when doomsday approaches? I say when doomsday is approaching.
So this is Louis, and I'm back.
I'm back.
I'm back to tell you about Angry Joe, Pissed Off Pedro, and all the other nicknames. Angry Joe got MeToo'd, and I'm not going to go through the claims because they appear to be vague, nebulous, in many ways like Joe's politics. Just scattershot, can't really understand what the issue is. At worst, it's just an unpleasant conversation. Joe has released a statement saying that he's pursuing legal action and, he's denying it. Joe doesn't strike me as a rapist, and if there are criminal charges against him, then I take it seriously. But being this is just Twitter shit, I don't really take it seriously. But this is Joe once again getting what he deserves, which is what I tweeted at him, and it's what I'm here to tell you today. Back in 2015, Joe was one of the people that, when push came to shove, he defended leftist infiltration and feminist infiltration of gaming. He made, I believe, more than one video where he just came right out and just said straight up that we should be supportive of the ideologues that are infiltrating gaming. Of all the people that I have done videos on, Joe really is the one that deserved one, and I never gave him one. I never gave him a PewDiePie video or a Boogie rant. I never gave him the video he truly deserves. And of all the people, I think Angry Joe, it would have been the most popular video that I would have done. Attacking PewDiePie, I even attacked John Bain back in the day. I've gone after certain people that irritated me because I watched them, and because, in the case of Bain, he was extremely popular, and it seemed to me all over the place, and no one was critiquing him. Angry Joe, for the longest time, he's been a punching bag for quite a few people, and so I think that may have been the reason why I never went after him, even though, of all people, he's in many ways like Ethan Klein. He absolutely deserves the criticism he gets, because where we are now in 2020, 5 years later from where he was doing this shit, he's getting what he deserves. He's reaping what he has sown over those years. He is one of the guys that invited these people in to gaming, and he tried to take advantage of that to his own direct personal benefit, and now the same people that he's trying to take advantage of are coming back and MeToo'ing him and trying to destroy him. And while I'm not even going to post the rumors and all that, because I'm not going to post shit that is, as far as I can tell, without merit. I haven't even been able to deduce what the actual claims are. It's like, we had a conversation. He tried to get my number. He tried to invite me up to a hotel room, some shit like that. And I said no, and he got mad or some bullshit, which is an unpleasant conversation. We go from a serial rapist to this shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's why Me Too is a fucking joke and should have been not taken seriously in the first place. But, I mean, people can go look. Did Joe tweet about Me Too? It would be in his wheelhouse of vague leftist causes that he has supported in the past, so I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't follow him, so I don't know. When I did follow him, this would be one of the things that he would have endorsed, because he is a vague, nebulous, scattershot leftist. He's someone that has never really thought through what he believes. He only goes along with what he thinks is popular, and what he thinks is going to get people to leave him alone, and what he thinks is the right side. If you're a Trump supporter, if you're right-wing, if you're this, you're that, you're a fucking retard or you're evil, in his view. Because he's never really thought through his politics. He's a vague leftist. That's one of the things about him that frustrates me, and why he truly deserved a video back in the day, but I never did it. Because like I said, he's been a punching bag forever. In many ways, he is like Ethan Klein, where he's been getting an increasing amount of criticism over the years. He's ignored most of it. He thinks he can endorse certain movements, endorse certain causes, influence certain causes, try to push certain things, and never have to deal with the consequences of what he is called for. I did a video in April where he talked about, and it's one of the several instances now, where he's talked about the agenda, as he puts it, which is just the left-wing agenda, the feminist agenda, but he doesn't want to call it that, because those are things he's endorsed. So the agenda that he's noticed clearly in films, television shows, video games, media in general. He's now noticed that the agenda is real, that they're plaguing the things that he likes, and he's powerless now to do anything about. But the fact is that these movements, this infiltration that has occurred, this is something that he once endorsed. This is something he once pushed, that he apologized for, that he's practicing apologetics for, in defending, while I and others were attacking it. He was the bulwark to getting down to the ideologues and trying to expel them from gaming. He stood in our path, and now he's reaping the whirlwind. He's paying the toll, however you want to say it. He's getting what he deserves. Unfortunately, Joe, this is the lesson of you, the child, and your childlike mind and your childlike politics having to put your hand on the stove and be burned. Now you've learned the lesson of why these movements are bad, why these movements and these ideologues are wrong. Is because no honest person has to attack another in this way, make false allegations against them. No honest person dealing in honest politics has to do that. There's no way in hell that I or anyone else that is on my side would ever falsely accuse you of anything to this end, that you are a quasi-rapist, that something you've done has violated our rights, that you violated us, or one of us. None of us on our side would ever do something like this to you. But the fact is that the people that we oppose, the people that we've been against for years and years, that we've been calling out for 5 years or so now, they would do that to you, and they now have. So now what can you do, Joe? You've been tainted by this. Even if you pursue legal action, you do the steps that are necessary to fight this, which you claim, at least for now, that you're going to do. We'll see how long that lasts to the point where you have to apologize, because your fucking faggot friends, all your left-wing faggot friends are going to start distancing themselves from you or use this opportunity to excoriate you for their own gain. There are going to be people that turn on you, turn their backs on you, and so on. You thought that there would be no price to pay as it relates to endorsing and going along with these causes. But the fact is that you are now learning that there is a price to pay, that you do not get to just endorse this shit and walk away. Eventually it comes back. Eventually this shit comes for you. You just thought you'd get eaten last, or you were above it all. You're popular enough. You're famous enough. You're rich enough. You're influential enough that it won't touch you. It won't matter. But here you are. Of all the people I've done videos on, I know I'm repeating myself, but Joe really was one of the people that deserved a video. He deserved a rant against him. He earned it. But I just never did it. And if I could go back and tell myself a few years ago that you should do a video on Angry Joe, I'd do it. But even with it, a few years ago, he would still be popular enough to where it would be like taking on John Bain again. It would be like attacking PewDiePie. It would just be me screaming at a brick wall, or more so, screaming into the ether, screaming into the void. And most of the people that support me, who would follow the links, be able to look and say, you know what, Louis, you're right. This is just a matter of him endorsing the wrong things, him not thinking through his politics, and him being an asshole. But there would be a sizable chunk of people that would come to my channel and give me shit over it, and they wouldn't take one word I'd say seriously. A direct comparison that I could make is my experience with people that know my name, but don't really know anything else about me. There are people that follow me. There are people that used to follow me. There are people that have seen a few of my videos and get a sense of what I believe. There are people that know me through Sargon and other people that have been on streams and other such things, so they know who I am, but they don't really follow me. They don't really care about me. And then there are people that know the name, but they don't know anything else. That group of people, in my experience, fucking hate me. The people that know my name, but either know Sargon or don't like Sargon, but don't really know, they haven't seen anything from me on his channel or on a stream, anything like that. But they know my name. They've heard of my channel. those people, in my experience, fucking hate me. The reason why I say that is because people like Joe have made it possible for people that have never really heard of me, know the name but don't watch any of my videos, don't watch any of the people that I'm associated with. It's people like Joe that have created that kind of stigma, that have perpetuated that kind of stigma. That because I'm not in favor of all this left-wing shit in gaming, I'm fucking evil. I'm a bigot, I'm an incel sexist, I'm this and that, I'm a racist. One of the go-to things for me is also I'm a fucking pedophile. Because these people don't watch my videos. They don't watch what I have to say. They don't listen to my reasoning. They don't care about what I believe, what I endorse, what I don't, what my principles are or are not. They don't care. But what they do know is that I'm an anti-SJW. And it is because of people like Joe that those kind of people fucking despise me. Having vague leftist politics like Chris Reagan, that's perfectly acceptable. That's the norm. That's fine. That's completely socially acceptable. But being anti-SJW is taboo. It means that you're everything evil under the sun. It's people like Joe that have perpetuated that. And it's why I think he deserves a video, but it's too late. It doesn't matter now. We're far enough down the path that I can show you clips of him changing his mind and experiencing things that he's endorsed in the past, and so on. But it's gotten to the point now where the damage is fucking done, and it doesn't matter. It really is a fight that's already been lost. So it doesn't really matter if I went and did the video that he deserves. It wouldn't matter. Because I'd be preaching to you. It would be a lot of work for me. But the people that would endorse the video now, they just dislike Joe. It wouldn't even matter what I would say. You know, I could make shit up. I could just totally make shit up. And people would still endorse it. Because people generally now, there's a lot of people that don't like Joe. It's just like Ethan Klein. Where I could criticize him in the ways that I dislike him. And either some people disagree entirely because they're a fanboy of his, or they agree entirely because they fucking hate him. It doesn't matter anymore. So it's why don't expect a video on Ethan Klein, because he has a whole load of problems, but what would be the point at this point of saying anything about him? There's such a flock, a congregation, that I literally would be preaching to the choir in that kind of video. There's no point anymore. I mean, I don't really know if anyone's been paying attention to this new, like, all the new, you know, PlayStation 5 bullshit that's been coming out. All of these games look like woke shit. All of them. They look awful. That's AAA. Every AAA game has some sort of progressive narrative, has some sort of progressive spin, has some woke points, has some woke nonsense in it, has some attempt at pushing, you know, diversity in a cast. Like, every single fucking game. Every single one at this point. So it's too late. It's too late. It doesn't matter. You know, I could go back and watch my videos from 2015 where I was warning about this. Where I was screaming about this. Every video was me screaming that eventually we're going to get to the point where every game is fucking woke and every game is fucking trash. And here we are. That is AAA gaming. That is gaming in 2020. It's been like that for a couple of years now, but this year especially, every fucking game that comes out, every single one, has some progressive angle to it. You have a laundry list, a growing list of games that just censor everything, and it's especially Japanese games. They're censored or censoring themselves or changing this, editing that, just every fucking thing under the sun. Except for if you're Neil Druckmann in The Last of Us 2. Then you can fuck a tranny and have that portrayed with frontal nudity, and that's totally fucking fine. But anything else, well, you don't even have to ask the Japanese. They'll censor it themselves before they, you know, put it out. They'll take care of it. You don't even have to say anything. This is the state that we have reached and that Joe has played along with. He has endorsed this behavior for years. And now here we are, where things that he loves are being ruined, and now he himself has been ruined by probably false accusations against him. The thing I would ask Joe is, the problem that you now have to contend with, was it worth it? And, I'll ask, even though I don't think it's ever going to happen, are you going to consider changing your mind on some of these things? Are you going to not apologize for, I apologize to all the women of the world who I hurt, blah, blah, blah. Nothing like that. Are you going to apologize to us, former fans, former watchers of your channel, about you endorsing these left-wing causes that have destroyed you in this industry? Are you going to apologize for that? Because I'd appreciate that. I'd accept that. I'd resubscribe and all that if you do it. But not before. Because that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for you to get on bended knee for me. For someone that used to subscribe to your channel and used to like your channel and your content. I know there's people that dislike your content and we can just put them aside. But for those of us that used to watch your channel and were disgusted when you endorsed all this shit, but continued watching. I continued watching him for at least a couple years past that point of him endorsing this shit. It was off and on, yeah, but I still did. But I never got over that. I always had that bad taste in my mouth of you endorsing the things that ultimately have doomed this industry. To where now every show you love, Joe, and every game you'd like to buy and like to enjoy, everything's woke shit. Everything. Everything EA puts out is just woke shit. And every one of these gaming companies have endorsed Black Lives Matter. Let's see what comes from that. We're going to have more forced black characters in these games. When that's already a staple already. Like, where I've done collages in the past on Twitter of, like, all these stupid fucking black side characters, these black females with the big puffy hair, where this same black actress, this ugly-faced, gaunt-faced black actress is in a slew of fucking games now just to check a box. It's pathetic. This industry is a fucking joke now. Where every fucking game, and I've talked to insiders, every fucking game, while they're working on it, when they get close to the conclusion, if they're not starting at the beginning with Dragon Age and BioWare, where they start this shit at the beginning, but a lot of these games, including from, big titles for shooters and stuff, they get to the end, and then the upper management, the brass, go, okay, what woke shit can we force into this game right at the tail end of development? Because we have to have something. So what can we force in? I've talked to devs that have confirmed to me that there are internal meetings where this shit is discussed, but it's left alone, only for the top brass to go, put it in the game. Where there's no discussion, it's just mandated. You endorsed that, Joe. And here we are. We're now in the fucking wasteland, where I got people, and I'm not going to endorse this or not. I'm waiting for June 2 days from now to see what goes on with fucking Cyberpunk. Apparently that's when we're getting the treasure trove. Finally the info dump that we need. But there are people speculating that the reason why they delayed Cyberpunk again is to change aspects of the game. But we already know that with CD Projekt Red and with Mike Pondsmith, they've compromised in the past. Whether it relates to the trans issue or others, they've all compromised in the past and covered up the actual lore for the sake of political correctness in the game. They've done this in the past. So them changing the game after the riots in America, do you really put it past them? Do you really say that it's outside of the possibility for them, knowing what we know about what they've done in the past, that they're going to change the game to accommodate this shit, to put more leftist bullshit in the game? You can say that that's speculation, and sure, but we already have examples of them doing this. So I sincerely doubt that there's no chance of this to occur. It's like every fucking EA game, every fucking Ubisoft game, every fucking Bethesda game going forward. All of these fucking studios, all of these fucking publishers, all of these games. And it includes an endless slew of indie games. So don't even give me this indie shit. Everyone's always talking about the big pile of indie shit. The big pile of indie shit includes a lot of progressive nonsense. So it is ubiquitous. Joe, you had your chance. It's over. This industry is fucking cooked and done. And it is like the turkey from Christmas Vacation. It's ugly, it's disgusting, it is inedible. This industry is unsalvageable. We've gotten to the point where the fucking kingmaker of the industry, they're fucking done. Where the base Polacks, they're compromised. It's over. It's fucking over, man. And in 2014 and 2015, I was screaming at the top of my lungs that we can't let this happen, and you were endorsing it. You allowed this shit to happen. You allowed this to happen rather than use your influence to speak out against it. You and all the other popular YouTubers in gaming, you fucking lay down, and if you didn't lay down, you were defending this shit. You were actively endorsing it and deflecting criticism away from it. And slandering those of us that were speaking out against it. You made it far more easy for people to dismiss me and to defame me while speaking out against something that has now destroyed this fucking industry. I'll end this by saying that I don't believe the accusations without a criminal charge because, as I've said many times in the past, I don't care. Let's say you were raped. Go tell a cop. I don't care. I'm not a police officer. Don't tell me. I don't care. You got raped. You got sexually assaulted. You got molested. You got whatevered. I don't give a fucking shit. Go tell a cop. Go file criminal charges. Pursue justice. I don't give a fucking shit what happened to you. It's not my business. It's yours. It's between you and the perpetrator. Go bring it to the police or fuck off. So, besides the point in terms of guilt or innocence as it relates to Joe. But that's my perspective. That isn't Joe's. And to Joe, I'm just going to say this. That I already know that you're not interested in a conversation. I didn't vote for Trump, but I'm not against him. So automatically that means that you and I are going to have a problem, that you're going to be irrational around me. So there's no chance whatsoever for a conversation. But I'm just going to say this, that my door's always open. Our side has always been open. We've always been willing to meet with others, to speak about these topics, and to try to reconcile what's gone on. But the fact is that even if today you apologize to us, those former fans, you came out and said, no, I was wrong about all these things I said in the past. Even if you did all the things possible to make this right, the situation right, if you changed your politics and you thought about what you believe, why you believe those things, that you did all the right possible moves, in terms of the actual issue of gaming, it's over, dude. It's too late. Get on bended knee to me, kiss my ring and all that good shit. Totally, prostrate yourself to me and to our side. It doesn't fucking matter, dude. It's done. It's gone. This industry is dust. Even if I win, every company comes to me and wants my input on things. I'm going to be the king of the ashes.
Ain't nothing gonna matter once those nukes start flying. We'll all be dust. The Ozymandias here. Be the smartest man on the cinder.
The smartest man on the cinder, as the comedian would say. This shit is done. So now we're at the point where it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter who's fucking right or wrong. It doesn't matter who's apologizing or who's standing by or whatever. It doesn't fucking matter anymore. It's done. And unfortunately, it's just like, I'm probably going to be at the point where I would like to play a video game, but it's going to be years in between where I can find something worth a shit. Because even including indie, when I see the list of games coming out, half of them, if not more, include woke garbage or are censored or whatever. They're to the point where I'm never going to fucking buy them. I'm never going to touch them. And seemingly the other half are just shit. It's just shovelware, sequels, remakes, all this fad garbage. And what's the point in buying that? So I'll leave it there. Thanks for listening.